Was shocked, like most Chattanoogans, when it hit our home turf.
A terrorist attack on Lee Highway and Amnicola Highway 10 years ago.
I heard the automatic weapons fire of the terrorists. I thought to myself, innocently, who in the world has missed July the 4th? It's July the 16th.
Years go by, but the 5 men killed will always be remembered.
Yeah, it's easy to get emotional about this.
As soon as he became a Marine, it's like he found himself. He discovered where he was supposed to be his whole life. And that's what he became. He became the quintessential Marine, you know.
The city of Chattanooga united as one to honor their service.
And it was actually when I was on my way home from the hospital, and we were driving down Amnicola Highway, and I seen everything.
The FBI led the investigation into why it happened, now closing the case.
I don't know what you do about someone who's willing to take their own life in exchange for several others.
There's a lot of bad people in this world, but the big thing to take out of it is don't live in fear.
A special edition of Local 3 News today, July 16, 10 years later, starts now. Today we remember Gunnery Sergeant Thomas Sullivan, Lance Corporal Squire Skip Wells, Navy Petty Officer 2nd Class Randall Smith, Sergeant Carson Holmquist, and Staff Sergeant David Wyatt.
The 5 service members not killed while at war, but instead while at home, all leaving a lasting impact on our city and those who live here for years to come. 10 years ago, the men died at the Navy Operational Support Center off of Amnicola Highway. Thank you for joining us. I'm Michelle Herron.
And I'm Paul Shaheen. Today we take a moment to remember and reflect on each of the fallen 5. Lance Corporal Squire Skip Wells was the youngest victim at just 21 years old. He grew up in Cobb, Georgia, and attended Georgia Southern University. His mother, Kathy Wells, says becoming a Marine was his ultimate calling.
Sergeant Carson Holmquist from Wisconsin was a maintenance technician who served in Afghanistan and was decorated with 8 awards for his service.
And Staff Sergeant David Wyatt was an artillery operations man, served in Afghanistan and Iraq twice. 12 commendations and medals for his valor.
Logistics Specialist 2nd Class Randall Smith was proud to serve his country for many reasons, inspired to follow his grandfather's footsteps. His career in the Navy took him to the Great Lakes, Mississippi, and Norfolk, Virginia before re-enlisting.
And that's when Randall was assigned to the Navy Operations Support Center in Chattanooga, where he trained and transported active duty Navy personnel.
Gunnery Sergeant Thomas Sullivan was the recipient of a Purple Heart after 2 tours in Iraq. He's the middle child of 3 siblings from Springfield, Massachusetts.
10 years later, and Joe Sullivan still gets emotional remembering the day he lost his brother. From Catholic school and Boy Scouts to a long career in uniform, Joe says Thomas lived to serve. Joe says his brother died the way he lived, protecting others.
It's a level of selflessness and heroism that, like, even 10 years later, I don't want to forget my brother, but I don't want anybody to forget the hero and what he did.
In a world where tragedy strikes too often, Joe wants us to remember his brother's legacy, a Marine who made the ultimate sacrifice not on a distant battlefield, but again, here in the city he called home.